Now, the next speaker is going to talk on a subject close to my heart, programmatic. It's Darren Walsh, Director of Programmatic at Nativo, and he's going to talk about Shift Happens, lovely title, breakthrough strategies to get digital transformation right, something that was touched on this morning by Smart and Sorrell, obviously, in the opening keynote. So I'm going to shut up. Darren, the time is yours.
Thank you very much. Hope everyone is well on what's been a hectic morning. Just to give you a quick introduction to myself and Nativo, I'm the EMEA Programmatic Lead here. A bit of a background on Nativo itself. We're a native platform, very much working with brands to distribute storytelling at scale. Furthermore to that, we work with publishers to create better user experiences through in-feed units, articles, etc. So the keynote of today is shift happening. We know that consumers are spending more and more time online. Over the past 10 years or so, they've shifted away from those more traditional channels of print, radio, press, etc. And I think they've spent over more than 4 hours per day online. Arguably during COVID, that's going to be tenfold. I know myself, I've spent way too long online as we speak. But, it's a massive shift here for brands to be able to connect with their users online. And it's a massive challenge at the same time to vie for that attention. We've seen a 74% increase going into those digital channels during this time. COVID has affected us all, but it's been a major kind of change going into that transformation space in 2020. 97% of CTOs have cited COVID as a factor for that digital transformation, but there are some brands who are worried about being left behind still. For us to understand and move forward with that digital transformation, we need to understand both the challenges and also be part of that solution. Consumers are digital first. This is a massive opportunity for us as brands, as publishers, to reconnect with that audience. They're open to new brands, they're open to new behaviors, they're open to new experiences. And something as brands, we need to align with that consumer, producing engaging and delightful user experiences that ultimately are going to hit your campaign KPIs. We all work in ad tech. We've relied on cookies, targeting, heard the issues around the cookie apocalypse at the moment. So I'm a big believer in this digital empathy design. If we can create that content and experience is going to touch on the empath and that user experience and also the emotional side of things, we're going to engage that user in a new way that's ultimately going to push users throughout that purchase funnel and drive intent as well as brand advocacy and loyalty. There's still a challenge in place. I've probably exceeded this 5,000 ads daily this morning. I have to say myself, people are still suffering from that banner burnout. We're not getting our message across as a brand. It is resulting in less brand advocacy and obviously the pending cookie apocalypse that I mentioned, people having to adapt and move on from this to be able to reach and expand audiences in a new and engaging way. We feel they're still a little bit out of touchiness here in that digital space. They're trying to bombard that messaging, as we saw earlier. That's not always going through. There's an old adage here: deliver the right message at the right moment at the right time. We combine all of those to a content experience, deliver that out to the right areas within in-feed quality units on the right publishers, on the right placements. Campaign goals are going to be met and therefore hit. This obviously gives us a fantastic opportunity then to reconnect with our audience, be more impactful as an advertiser. From a publishing point of view, monetize those in-feed placements and create non-intrusive experiences. This is going to create a better UX for that consumer, and therefore both publishers are going to monetize better and brands are going to hit their goals. As I said, we've got very short time, but just to wrap up the idea here around the power of content. Tell that story. Go back to simple content calendars, but don't be afraid to adapt to everyday news. Align with where that consumer is and therefore engage, interact, and then push them down that funnel with strong content. Meet the consumers where they are, align to that brand shift and engage within the feed of the user. And finally, yes, content is at the front, but we still have technology there. This combined with cookieless solutions, contextual targeting, and your own brand's first-party data means we can push that audience and combine the two together. So a very quick run through there. We'd love to help from a brand point of view and a publisher aspect as well. Get in touch with my details there. Any questions, let us know. None about the shirt, but one of the favorites, but we'd love to help.
Fantastic, great chat. And we've got loads of questions, so let me pick my favourite as usual. I also love the power of content. That's exactly what we believe at NDA and Madfest, so perfect. One here from George. He asks, or she asks, are there any specific changes or implementations publishers should be thinking about to put customer needs first?
Most definitely. I talked around non-intrusive experiences there. That is first and foremost what you should be looking to do, is you're enhancing that as your experience. You're able to then monetize that better. And ultimately, if you've got the right targeting from a contextual point of view with strong content, you're going to delight your readership. Therefore, you're going to get more users through to site and therefore a better yield off the back end. But ultimately, a stronger user experience.
Perfect. And last one here, I think, from Ellie. She asks, what would you recommend as a first step for brands looking to start distributing content?
Most definitely. Go back to the basics. Create an old school content calendar. I'm a massive fan of them. Create that with Christmas, holiday periods, whatever's coming up during the year, and shift that. Don't be afraid to react to real-time stories, but start with that strong content, and then we move up to the distribution and targeting aspect from there. That is the crux, and that's how you engage with those users.
Superb. Thanks so much for your time. Great advice.